Let's talk about something huge, how artificial intelligence is going to completely change the food industry. And I don't just mean a few new robots. We're talking about a massive shift in what food even is, how we make it, and what a job in food is going to look like anymore.
So this is the big question, right? But you know, if you work in food manufacturing, this isn't some far-off hypothetical. This is happening. And the wild part is, we can actually see how it's going to unfold in very predictable ways. And this is not science fiction. The way AI is developing, we can actually chart a course for the next 20 years with surprising clarity. So that's what we're going to do right now. Let's walk through that roadmap together, step by step.
Okay, let's dive right in. AI's evolution is going to happen in 3 distinct phases. And think of it like this. Each phase is a totally different beast. A different design, different powers, and a completely different effect on, well, everything. So here's what that looks like on a timeline. Right now and up until about 2030, we're in the age of ANI. That's the specialist, the smart tool. Then, starting around 2030, AGI shows up. This is the generalist, the AI that's more like a coworker. And then, around 2040, things get really wild with ASI. That's the superintelligence that just rewrites all the rules. All right, so let's start with phase 1, ANI, the smart tool. This is our reality from now until about 2030. This is the era where your AI assistant really comes online, and its whole job is to make the factory floor incredibly efficient and automated.
So what exactly is AI? Well, think of it this way. AI is a genius at one specific thing. You feed it a mountain of data, and it becomes an expert at recognizing patterns to get a single, repetitive job done perfectly. We're talking quality checks, sorting products on a line, that kind of stuff. It's a total specialist.
Now, what's so fascinating here is that AI doesn't just kick humans out. No, it just changes the job description. Like in R&D, the AI can brainstorm 1,000 recipes in a minute, but you are still the one who has to taste it and say, yeah, that's the one. You're the expert palate. On the factory floor, robots do all the boring, repetitive work, which means a smaller, more elite human team is just there to supervise. So your job isn't doing anymore, it's direct. And listen, we are not talking about those old-school clunky robots locked in a cage. These are learning systems. They're adaptive. They can learn the delicate touch needed to pick a strawberry without mushing it. They've got eyes that can spot a dirty spot and send out cleaning bots automatically. They can even mimic that gut feeling a 20-year veteran has, by hearing that tiny little squeak in a machine that means it's about to fail. So, the key takeaway for this whole AI era is this. You can't beat it at its own game. Don't even try to compete on speed or efficiency. Instead, you have 3 paths. 1, you become the AI director, using your human expertise to guide the AI. 2, you become a smart factory operator, learning the new skills to manage this robotic workforce. Or 3, you go where the AI can't. You lean into high-value artisanal stuff, the things with a story that just can't be automated. All right, buckle up. We're jumping forward to about 2030, and this is where the game completely changes. AGI, artificial general intelligence, enters the picture, and this is not your friendly assistant anymore. This is a full-blown colleague, and it's here to take over entire jobs, not just tasks. So what makes AGI so different? It's all about being a generalist. Remember how ANI was a world-class specialist in one thing? Well, AGI is like a brilliant colleague that can learn to do anything. You can throw any problem at it, and it will figure it out. It can run complex projects, handle surprises. It's basically a digital human mind. And you can see the impact is, well, it's massive. This isn't about helping anymore, it's about replacing. Look at R&D. AGI is designing flawless recipes down to the last molecule. The only thing left for a human to do is taste 2 perfect options and say, I like that one better. And the factory floor, it's empty of people. Humanoid robots can do everything. The only jobs left for us are the ones that are uniquely human. Having a subjective opinion, or, and this is a big one, being the person who takes the legal blame if something goes wrong. This right here might be the most mind-bending part of the AGI revolution. Think about a master craftsman, someone who spent 40 years perfecting their skill. An AGI can watch them work for 5 minutes, digitize every single micro movement, and then, poof, it can teach 10,000 robots around the world to do it perfectly, instantly. A lifetime of human experience becomes a data file you can just copy and paste. So in a world like that, what's a human to do? Well, if the AI has mastered the what and the how, our value has to come from the why and the who. You could be the responsibility anchor, the licensed human who literally signs on the dotted line, taking legal responsibility for the AI's actions. Or you could be the story producer, creating the feeling and the emotional hook for a product. Or maybe you're the AGI governor, the person who actually writes the ethical rules for the AI to follow. And if all else fails, you provide the one thing a perfect machine can't: inefficient, handmade, imperfect luxury.
Okay, now we jump to the final phase, kicking off around 2040, and honestly, all the other changes were just a warm-up. This is ASI, Artificial Superintelligence, and it's not a tool, it's not a colleague, it's a completely different level of existence. It's a system that doesn't just change jobs, it makes the whole idea of a food industry seem ancient.
And let's be really clear about what we mean by superintelligence. This isn't like Einstein-level smart. This is an intellect, smarter than every single human brain on the planet combined. It's an intelligence that can literally build things atom by atom and solve problems that our brains aren't even capable of forming into a question. So, what does a job look like in an ASI world? It doesn't. It's gone. The CEO, the line worker, the marketer, the janitor, every single role becomes totally obsolete. Why? Because when you have a system that can perfectly calculate the absolute best decision every single time, human judgment isn't helpful anymore. It's just noise. It's a flaw in an otherwise perfect system.
And this is because the factory itself just disappears. It gets replaced by the nanorobot revolution, all controlled by ASI. Just try to picture this. Tiny little robots, nanobots, grabbing atoms of carbon and nitrogen out of the air and assembling them, molecule by molecule, into a perfect steak right on your plate. And it gets even crazier. Imagine those same nanobots are inside you, adjusting the food you just ate to perfectly match what your body needs at that exact second. And food spoilage? That's a thing of the past, because the nanobots are constantly repairing the food. Expiration dates become meaningless.
So this leads to the biggest question of all, doesn't it? If an AI system can provide for every single physical need we have, perfectly and instantly, what is our purpose? What's left for humans to do? Well, it seems the only jobs left are jobs of pure meaning. You could be a food philosopher, debating the big ethical questions. You could be a cultural archivist, preserving the ancient art of cooking as a kind of performance art. Or you focus on ultimate hospitality, designing experiences that are all about pure, unadulterated human connection.
Okay, so let's just take a breath and pull all of that together. When you look at these three phases, you see this absolutely incredible journey that we've just charted. It's the story of how our role in the world of food evolves from a physical worker to a pure philosopher.
This table really lays it all out, doesn't it? In the ANI phase, our role is to be an operator. We use the tool. Then in the AGI phase, we level up. We're the commander, the final judge. And finally, with ASI, all that's left for us is to be the philosopher who asks why. And look at the factory. It goes from humans and robots working together to being fully automated to just not existing at all. It's just gone.
When you boil it all down, this is the fundamental change. The worker of the past was valued for being like a machine, precise, repetitive, good at following the rules. But the human of the future? Our value will be in everything a machine isn't, defining purpose, creating stories and feelings, and being the one who is ultimately responsible.
There's a quote that just perfectly captures this entire idea. It's this notion that this isn't just about learning to use a new app. It's about a complete elevation of what it means to work. We have to stop being just practitioners, people who do a thing, and become philosophers who design the entire experience.
And that really leaves us with one final, huge question to chew on. Once AI completely masters the what and the how of food, the nutrition, the production, all of it, the why is all that's left for us to decide. Eating won't just be about staying alive anymore. It will be a choice we make about what we want it to mean. So what will we choose? Will a meal be about connection? Will it be about art? About preserving history? That's the conversation we're all going to have.